So there's this idea making the rounds online that claims to hold the secret to totally transforming your financial reality. It's a philosophy that's all about inner alchemy, and it basically suggests that your biggest obstacle to wealth isn't the economy or your job, but something deep inside your own mind. So what's the core idea here? Let's break it down.
This is the question that kicks the whole thing off. Right away, it shifts your focus from all the external stuff and points the finger inward. It's arguing that the real battle for wealth, well, it's not out there in the world, it's happening right between your ears. It's a pretty powerful idea, right? It kind of forces you to rethink everything you thought you knew about money.
Okay, so the philosophy starts by taking this really old concept, alchemy. But it argues that the ancient quest to turn lead into gold was never actually about metal. It was always just a big metaphor for a much deeper internal transformation.
And here is the core metaphor. The lead, that represents all your self-doubt, your limiting beliefs, your fears about money. And the gold, well, that's financial abundance, confidence, freedom. So true alchemy, according to this idea, has nothing to do with chemistry. It happens entirely inside your own mind.
So, where does all this mental alchemy happen? Well, the source calls the workshop for this the subconscious mind, or as it puts it, the crucible. This is supposedly the forge where your financial reality gets shaped, and a lot of the time, it's happening without you even being aware of it.
Now, to make this idea feel less, out there, the philosophy connects that feeling of being stuck to something physical. You know that invisible glass ceiling that seems to be on your income? It's described as a literal network of neural pathways, basically hardwired into your brain from years of hearing the same old stories about money.
This is a huge reframe for what a lot of us see as personal failings. Things like procrastination, self-sabotage, maybe a lack of motivation. This philosophy doesn't treat them like character flaws. Nope, they're just symptoms of your subconscious programming. The message is pretty clear. You're not broken, you're just running the wrong software.
And this is where you can really see that internal conflict laid out. On one side, you have the lead beliefs, the heavy thoughts that keep you stuck like money's hard to get. On the other side, you've got the gold beliefs, these expansive ideas that supposedly vibrate at the same frequency as wealth. The entire goal of this thing is to consciously replace the beliefs on the left with the ones on the right.
Okay, so if your brain is supposedly programmed with lead, how in the world do you install the new gold programming? Well, the philosophy offers one main technique, which it calls the alchemist's greatest tool, a very specific mindset called thinking from the end.
And this really shows the subtle but profound difference. See, most of us, we think about our goals. We see them as these distant things we're chasing after. This philosophy argues you need to do the exact opposite. You have to mentally and emotionally live in the reality where your desire has already happened. You don't chase it, you become it.
So, how does this actually work? Well, the process starts when you consciously create a new story inside your own head. You're told to speak, feel, and make decisions as if the wealth is already a done deal. The logic here is based on a principle it calls as within, so without, the idea that your internal world creates your external world, not the other way around.
And here it is, the philosophical linchpin of the whole thing. It kind of borrows language from quantum physics, suggesting your internal state, your thoughts, your feelings, is actually emitting a frequency. By changing that frequency, by changing yourself as the observer, you will inevitably change the world you observe. The core message is that you're not just living in reality, you are actively creating it.
So that's the theory. But this philosophy doesn't just stay abstract and up in the clouds. It offers a concrete, actionable blueprint that's designed to be used right away. It's called the 24-hour transmutation. The very first step is to arm yourself with a really powerful question. When a limiting belief pops up, something like, I can't afford that, you're supposed to stop and ask yourself, is that an objective fact of the universe, or is it just an old electrical circuit firing in my brain? It's a tool, right? Designed to interrupt the pattern and break that belief's hold on you.
And here's the full 3-step blueprint. Step 1, identify the lead. Pinpoint one specific doubt that came up for you today. Step 2, apply the heat. Challenge it with that factor circuit question. And finally, step 3, the golden strike. You don't just get rid of the doubt, you have to replace it with a new, powerful decision about who you are.
So after all the metaphors and all the techniques, what is the core takeaway here? When you really boil this entire philosophy down, the ultimate message isn't just about money. It's about a radical shift in how you see yourself and your place in the world.
This whole philosophy is really designed to shift your identity, to take you from being a passive victim of your circumstances to being the active, conscious creator of your reality. It's telling you that you already have all the tools. You are the alchemist.
And it all wraps up with this final, powerful call to action. It's a statement that basically hands all the responsibility and all the possibility right back to you. The laboratory is open. The only question left is, what will you create?